Hello everyone and welcome to the fifth video of our series on pediatric growth, development, and assessment. In this video, we'll talk about the school-age child. The school-age child is typically defined as years 6 through 12. For biologic development, typically height increases by 2 inches per year, weight increases by 2 to 3 kilos per year, and by the end of this period, the child's weight has almost doubled. There's also many important physical changes. Their head is no longer as large in relationship to the rest of their body. They lengthen out, they get more muscle tissue and less fat, and this is also the age of loose teeth. Under maturation of systems, they also have an increased bladder capacity. The heart is relatively smaller in relationship to the rest of the body, and thanks to all the practice they got during their preschool years, their immune system is working quite a bit better. We experience prepubescence during school-aged years, which is typically defined as the 2 years before the onset of puberty. This is different in girls than it is in boys. A sense of industry is the primary task for Erikson's psychosocial development for the school-aged child. They want to feel like they've accomplished something. They're eager to get more knowledge and develop more skills, and they want to feel like they're competent at things. In addition, peer approval is becoming a strong motivator for their actions and reactions. Cognitively, they start to develop concrete operations. They can use their thought processes to experience and translate events. They can also understand relationships and understand the values of things. For an example that applies to clinical practice, once you understand the relationship and values of numbers, these children can use a 1 to 10 scale for pain. They're also starting to develop their own morals and standards. Early in this age group, reward and punishment guide their choices, whereas by the end of this age group, they're actually acting intentionally on those intentions that prompted the actions. A peer group is extremely important to the social development of the school-age child. They want to identify with their peer groups, and they also are very much cognizant of the sex roles. This is a great time to get children involved in team sports, clubs, and peer groups. However, we also need to be cognizant of the fact that bullying can occur. Play remains extremely important to the school-age child. They like to play games that have rules and rituals. They like to participate in team play, but they also start to enjoy quiet games and activities. Children continue to develop their sexuality in the school-aged years, and this is a great time to introduce sex education. The nurses or nurse practitioner's role includes answering questions and being open with communication and education with the parents as well as the child. While it's very dependent on the child themselves, sleep averages about 9 to 11 hours a night for this age group. And while earlier in the age group they may resist going to bed, they typically are less resistant towards the end. As we've mentioned before, this is the age where they lose their baby teeth and their adult teeth come in. So we need to make sure that they're taking care of their teeth the way they should and seeing a dentist regularly. We need to include in our assessment looking for dental caries or periodontal disease. Nutrition remains extremely important. We want to make sure that they're getting a balanced diet and that the quality of that diet is good. This is the age where we need to start being cognizant for childhood obesity and trying to limit fast food intake. A great resource for parents is myplate.gov. Common concerns for the school-aged age group include: what is their school experience like? Do they have school phobia? Are they being bullied? This includes cyberbullying now that the use of mobile phones is so pervasive. In addition, dishonest behavior is actually fairly common. Children may steal things because they don't understand that it's wrong yet. Therefore, they need limit setting and discipline. Also, stress and fear tend to play much more higher role in their lives than it did in the previous age groups. For anticipatory guidance, injury prevention is very important. Motor vehicle crashes or accidents involving children and motor vehicles are very common and can cause severe injury. We also need to make sure they're using protective equipment when they're doing active sports. Another good topic for anticipatory guidance is enuresis and bedwetting. The healthcare provider will assess whether or not this is primary or secondary to another condition, and then we can reassure the patient and the parents that we can provide help. Encopresis, or stool incontinence, is also very common. Sometimes it's psychogenic and sometimes it's secondary, most commonly to constipation. We can also help these children by changing their dietary modifications, such as adding probiotics or fiber supplements. In addition, we want to continue to screen for ADHD and other learning disabilities. Thank you very much for your attention, and please continue to the last video in our series where we'll talk about the growth and development of the adolescent.